Yo, what up?
What's up, boys?
What's up? What's up, boys? We started out with 6 and we went straight to 3 as soon as I turned the microphone around. Oh well, fuck you, cocksuckers. We don't want your fucking shit anyways, you fucking cunts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. That's right.
That's right. So, yeah, man, what's up, everybody? What's up, Chris Young and Louis Coatney, Jason Lehman? What up, Mike the Glass Guy? Go check out Mike the Glass Guy's YouTube channel and subscribe. I gave him some love in my video today. What's up, Chris Johnson? Mike the Glass Guy?
Yeah. Is that? Yeah. I need to start checking this shit out.
Yeah, he's he don't do any commentary or nothing, but his video work is fucking second to none. Like, his video work is super crisp and badass. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's up, Henry? How you doing, man? Yeah, man, fucking, today's IWCA week. Mark's going. Are you excited, Mark? With your bullshit internet connection?
You know what I'm more excited about is,
God, your fucking internet sucks so bad. But keep continuing.
Dude, I got everything shut off.
Yeah, well, you fucking suck at life, bro. Quit fucking being a loser.
What does this have to do with my life? I got fucking fiber. I did have fiber. You know?
Anyways, but what were you saying?
IWCA. I'm going to get to meet Chris, and I believe Alex is going to be there. And
are you sure?
A couple of people. Yeah, because I sent Chris a message, and he's going.
Really?
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Huh.
You need to go. I need to represent.
Yeah. Just let me pack my bags. I'll be there tomorrow. You fucking idiot.
You know what? I'm not an idiot. Stop calling me names. Stop. We should have had shirts made that said, "Visit us on the Squeegee Life podcast page Wednesday night." Squeegee Life podcast Wednesday nights 8 p.m.
Where at?
You know that
at the IWCA.
Yes, should have wore shirts.
Why don't you just tell people? Be like, hey, I'm Mark Tanner from the Squeegee Life podcast.
No, maybe I'm gonna do it with a Sharpie. I'm gonna say T Squeegee made this shirt.
That's fine. I don't care.
Fucking glitter shit.
I'll do it with glitter paint. Cause I ain't no bitch.
So what's up?
What's up, Bill Jordan? You know, cleaning in the wintertime, freezing my balls off. You know how that goes. Oh, no, you don't know. You don't know. Because this is the first. Mark's like, it was 35 degrees when I woke up this morning, and man, was it cold.
It was.
Man, cold. How does everyone else feel about Mark Tanner and how bad his internet is right now?
Dude, I don't know what else to do.
I don't know. Maybe our audio technician should stop screen sharing. Maybe it's him that's screwing everything up.
Hey, Lee, kick this fucking mule, Lee.
Ooh, look, it went instantly better as soon as that happened.
Yeah, now I see you.
Yep.
But before I just saw the logo.
Yep.
He was taxing our gig.
That dude's taxing our gig, man. Our audio guy fucking blows goats. For real. Our audio guy needs to get better internet. I'm just saying. So I think most likely what's happening is he's got a man bun, so I think that might be interfering with his Wi-Fi signal.
How do you get the tinfoil hat over that man bun? It probably looks like Jiffy Pop half
done. What's up, Mark Darnell? You fucking smooth pimp ass motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyone out there that's watching going to IWCA that we get to meet?
Is there anyone? I guess since we already gave it away, Dustin Duffy is our audio guy. So if you hear stuff going on occasionally, we have a third member quietly in the background helping out with the podcast when we need things brought up or farts played or
I got hairy legs.
Yes, shit like that. He will be there he will be there to in our stead. So the podcast will be evolving as we go. So yeah, is there anyone out here that's going to the IWCA show? Is there anyone that's watching that's going? That's what I'm. Hey, yeah, Fernando Trevino, check that out. I ain't seen that dude in a long time. I wonder what we said to piss him off.
He's back. That's all that matters.
Yeah. But you know,
Masters
at Wagtail. That's Marcus Bay, man. We need to get Marcus on here to talk about conspiracies and shit.
He needs to get on here and dance for us.
Who am I going for? San Francisco or Kansas City? Yo, I'm going for San Francisco. Fuck Kansas City. I'm saying that
Green Bay didn't even look like they belonged in that game, man. No. That was horrible.
No, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm happy that there's new blood in the Super Bowl, but dude, it would be different if Kansas City had a defense that was a little bit stouter, but I don't believe in their defense whatsoever. And San Francisco's got 4 first-round draft picks on that defensive line, and they are fucking nasty, man. And and their offense, they're gonna pound that ball down Casey's throat. And Patrick Mahomes, don't get me wrong, can take it to the next level. You know what I mean? He could take it to the next level, throwing that ball around the field. But man, it's gonna be tough sailing. It's gonna be tough sailing for that dude, man. It's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be rough. That front four is gonna be all over him. They got a great secondary, and they can run the ball really, really well. And Kansas City has got a so-so defense. But you know, I'm pulling for San Francisco just because one of my really good friends is a Kansas City fan, and I like to see him suffer. And apparently a lot of our Chiefs next dynasty, please stop. We have a lot of people from Missouri that watch this podcast, so I just like to piss people off. So yeah, there's that. I like to see people suffer.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be. I hope it'll be a good game. You know.
The
Patriots are in there, so.
Bill, I agree. Either way. San Francisco, but Kansas City never. Winning a Super Bowl is cool to me too. So either one that wins is cool. I'm being funny or trying to be funny. I don't really care who wins. It would be nice to see Kansas City win one. I mean, they technically didn't win a Super Bowl, but it wasn't a Super Bowl. It was like a championship, right?
Probably.
That's just like saying the Browns never won a championship. They never won a championship, man. We dominated for a long time. You know what I mean? But Mahomes is a fucking stud, man, and they got one hell of a quarterback. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Hopefully, he can pull it off. I just feel bad for the dude because I feel like he's gonna be he's gonna have defensive line all up in his booty hole. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. It is what it is, man. What's up, Cody Farmer? That's Cody Farmer's the dude that can barbecue better than everybody he's never met.
He's cool.
He's super cool.
Nice setup.
Yeah. He's got some cool shit. I mean, I smoked meat in a 55-gallon drum cut in half, but whatever.
I smoke meat in a toaster oven, homie.
Yeah,
A few
yeah.
chips on that red strip on the bottom.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I had someone tell me,
Yep.
like, man, these ribs are so good, they're better than sex. And I'm like, I don't know if
Yeah, but look at what you're fucking.
I don't know if I cook really good or you don't know how to fuck, but either way,
Yep.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
agree with that statement. Yeah, I don't know, man. Either one is cool with me, man. The Cleveland Browns' new coach, I'm willing to give him time. The last guy was fucking terrible. They should have never put that dude on. He was not a good look for the team. He just not good at calling plays. He couldn't discipline the team whatsoever. I mean, it was bad, man. He would like go into the game, and if like the first 3 plays didn't work, he would abandon the play. He would abandon the game plan. I mean, like his offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, fucking, a bunch of people are like, yo, that's what he would just. The players were like, he would just abandon the game plan. He would just start shooting from the hip. That's not good. You know what I mean? So.
No.
I don't know.
Well, sometimes it takes a little while to cut his teeth, man. You never know.
Man, you ain't got to worry about talking too much, my dude. You ain't got to worry about talking too much, Marcus. That's what we do here is talk too much. I bet Cody knows the best barbecue in KC. Yeah, he said he did. The best barbecue in Missouri is what you call sweet. What's that? What was that place we went to?
Back. What
He
is
said
it?
the best barbecue in KC is whatever I'm cooking. What?
Was Lawnside.
Yeah,
Something
BB's Lawnside Barbecue.
Yeah, that shit was next level.
That chicken sandwich that they got in that bitch is next level. They smoke the chicken breast, then bread it, then deep fry it. That is the best shit ever. Ever. There's nobody that can beat that.
Well, I went. Remember, I had the first night we went. I had the burnt end.
Oh, the burnt ends.
Brisket
Yeah,
burnt
you
ends.
had burnt ends. Yeah,
and they had so many options there. And the second night I went, I had the burnt ends again. They were that good.
yeah.
I was burping up burnt ends and shitting out burnt ends.
Right. Well, I do, I do have a little something for our podcast listeners here. If you guys want to buy a new Zero pole, what you got to do is go to Jersey or Geordie and start an order with them and mention the Squeegee Life podcast, and you will get 10% off a Zero water fed pole.
Sweet.
From now till the first day of spring. So remember that. You go talk to Geordie or Jersey. Mention the Squeegee Life podcast, and you'll get 10% off from now till the big first day of spring. Now, you can't go to the website and do this. There's no coupon code. You have to go and order from Geordie or Jersey and mention the Squeegee Life podcast, and they will give you 10% off a Zero pole, water-fed pole. So that's pretty dope.
They have a Geordie and a Jersey working there?
Geordie's awesome. The Window Cleanse, you don't know who he is? He's an awesome guy. I met him at the huge convention. Super sweet dude.
Yeah.
Him and his wife are aces. Awesome people.
Nice.
Window Cleanse has got a YouTube channel. If you guys aren't aware of it, go check it out. And Jersey is, of course, Jersey. So, everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
Cody Farmer says Slaps is the best restaurant barbecue in KC.
Well, I don't doubt Cody knows what he's saying. I just know it was meant for us to go there.
Oh, yeah, there's no... Yeah,
The story was, though, Cody... I went back to the hotel, and I never watched Diners, Dives, and whatever it's called, but I just happened to find that station. I was laying down on the bed, and that guy Fieri was at BB's Lawnside. And I'm like, I wonder where that is. And I looked it up on my phone. It was like, 15, 20 minutes away? I go, that's a sign. We're going. It had good music. They had, local people just show up and play, and the food
while we were
excellent.
sitting there eating... A guy excuse me. A guy oh God. A guy comes in the restaurant with a guitar. Walks over, plugs it in, starts playing. We're sitting there bullshitting, and he's playing. And then our food comes out, and another guy walks in, and he's playing the guitar too. And then about just as we're getting ready to leave, another dude walks in with a bass guitar, and they just started playing. It was fucking cool, man. A bunch of blues legends have been there. I mean, it's a really cool place, man. If you guys get a chance, I would say go and visit the Cheap It store, but they closed down like almost immediately after the grand opening.
They're not there anymore?
No, they're not there anymore, bro.
Oh, I was gonna go.
Yeah.
I figured I'd shoot over there from Georgia, check it out.
Yeah, you probably should. I think you're still.
Well,
are you still waiting on the shit you bought?
Yeah, no, I was gonna buy something I needed in the next quarter.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy something now and get it in spring. That's my hopes.
I wonder if the drive-thru barbecue is still going on out back. We could go pick up those grills. No one. The barbecue was so bad the people left their grills. Remember that?
Man.
They couldn't find out who owned the grills.
Listen, guys. The Perry Taint tried to tell us. He's like, listen, we're going to have the most awesome brisket. I'm like, cool. Is it out? Me and Mark walk out back. There's no smokers or nothing. I'm like, oh, so they're smoking to somewhere else? And then Casper comes in like, I don't know, like an hour later. He's like, yeah, we got the grills out back. We're going to smoke this brisket. He's like, I'm like for when? They're like, for today, to eat. I'm like, yeah. Mark's like, that shit's going to be
like this 15-pound brisket, unseasoned, right out of the package and sits it on the grill. I'm like, hey, I might check the bottom of my shoe because I might need some new soles.
Mark said you want to go out and have some pot roast.
Yeah. Remember the funny thing was, Richie goes, I got to bring Hydrid some dinner. I told her I'd bring her some of that barbecue. He goes, but I can't get back to the hotel, which was like 2 miles away. I'm like, take my rental car. Here's the keys. I trust you. I'll go get you some barbecue. Dude, I cut her slabs of meat. Look like the Flintstones shit. She's still probably trying to chew it.
She's probably definitely still trying to digest that. Richie's like, that barbecue apparently was terrible. I was like, we tried to tell you, bro. You can't smoke a brisket in 5 minutes. It just, no matter what, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. They literally pulled this Packer brisket out of the plastic and they didn't have no salt and pepper. They were just like, we're gonna put some barbecue sauce on it. I'm like, all right, cool.
I'm
bro.
like, how long is this party going? 'Cause where I come from, that shit's 14 hours.
That shit ain't gonna work. Yeah,
I was done with this place after a half hour.
Right. So when you go to the IWCA, what are you going to be doing, Mark? What are you going to be doing there? I know you're taking the wife.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is my 22nd wedding anniversary. So this all fits together. So she's got a restaurant picked out.
Listen, she wasn't happy when you told her you were going to the IWCA, was she? You didn't. You forgot. Just admit that you forgot your wedding anniversary and you booked this trip. And she's like, it's our wedding anniversary, right? And you're like, well, just come with me. Is that why she's going? Is that why she's going to the huge?
Well, maybe.
That's great.
Here's the way it went down. I told her that I promised Phil I would work his booth with him, and he's getting us in. Get me tickets or placard to get in, and I'd really like to go because it's close enough where it's only a 6-hour drive.
Right.
And I said, she's like, well, what day is it? So I told her, that weekend, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, then when I realized it's several days before the weekend, she goes, well, I go, why don't you come up with me? We'll hang out. I said, there's certain people I want to meet, and we'll just make that our weekend for our anniversary. And so she already planned, she got dinner reservations somewhere close, and
cool.
It'll be nice. We don't, until recently, I never traveled anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's like, once I did that job out of state, it was like kind of opened my eyes because I'm a homebody. I like to be home. I just do. So, last year went riding in Tennessee, and I worked in Boston, and came to see you for your birthday and whatnot. So now I'm coming back to Ohio in a couple weeks. We'll hang again.
What day is that? The 4th?
Yeah. Yeah, I fly in on the 3rd.
I'm leaving the 4th.
Yeah, I'll be at your house. I know where you live. Your address. I'll be sitting on that porch.
Fuck that.
Light that smoker. And
the smoker that you told me to destroy and now it doesn't work.
We're gonna
that
work
one.
on it. We're gonna get it to work when I'm there.
Dude, you
Don't
guys
worry
have
about
no idea the amount of shit me and Mark are gonna do when he's here. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got.
Yeah,
we're
I
going
need
to see.
12 days.
We're going to see Cody Jenks. We're fucking gonna. We're gonna change the alternator in the noisy truck. We're gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna do route work. We're gonna fix my smoker. There was something else we were gonna do too, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I can't
don't
remember
know,
what it
some
was.
Kind of World's Fair or something.
Some kind
I
of
can change
shit.
that alternator in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm
bro.
like, dude, listen, we've got a job. You've got a job to do. We should probably try to focus on that. He's like, yeah, you're probably
That's
right.
supposed to be first, but I don't know.
I'm anxious to see. I'm anxious to see the job because all you did was really bid it with pictures and stuff like that. So I'm anxious to see how bad this is. I really want to. Yeah, hopefully we have the time for you to go check out that Chick-fil-A. I really want you to look at that and see what you think happened. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, Kate said to me, she goes, if that job is exactly what you were told it is, it's like, that's like 3 days, right? And I'm like, yeah, 3.5 days. And she's like, but you're going for 5 days. And I go, well, if, I'm going to hang with TJ, and we're going to get in trouble, maybe do a couple videos. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I don't want to be a burden on anybody. Mm-hmm. So if you got shit going or family, whatever, it's all good.
I'm a fucking loser. Just like you. I don't do nothing either. So,
Should TJ see that I'm actually all bundled up now?
Oh, yeah?
Hey!
And I got a big
Stanner.
sweater.
Yeah.
I got 2
Got,
sweaters.
wife's all dressed up like she's going in the snow.
Got flannel leggings.
Come here.
What?
Brady ate the chicken.
Why?
When I was cleaning the table, Brady ate the chicken.
You can't leave it out.
Yeah, I know.
These dogs are damn scrounges.
Yeah. All right, it's enough, Brady. Dude, it's the funniest
Mrs.
thing.
Tanner, everybody.
She can't see her. Can you see her?
Yeah, everybody can see Mrs. Tanner.
Oh, I don't see it on my screen.
What?
No, I just wondering if they could see you.
I'm making out with the dogs.
You're making out with the dogs.
Hey, Mike, are you going to the huge convention? Mike the Glass Guy, are you going to the huge convention in 2020?
That one's going to be a party.
I wonder if Big Squeegee. I want to know who's all going to the huge convention, man. Because I'm going to that one. I gotta get my own room. So I gotta do that. I can't forget that. Don't let me forget to get my room.
You gotta talk Jen into going do so the girls can go do one thing and we go do another.
Listen, man, Jennifer is not gonna be having it. If Jennifer comes down there with me, it's gonna be me and Jennifer doing things together. What are you laughing about? Listen, this motherfucker this dude talking all this fucking shit on the internet right now. Mrs. Tanner runs that motherfucker. Runs his ass. Don't let him try to fool you. That motherfucker is ran. He is ran. He's got saddle fucking bumps on his back from her riding his ass. Don't let him fool you. When you see Mark at the IWCA, his wife is gonna be leading his ass around. Believe that shit.
No,
Believe that shit.
I'd like to say it's 60-40.
Listen,
60% control by her. 40.
I drove all the way to, what is it, North or South Carolina? Which one did we go to?
North Carolina.
North Carolina to give him Tucker, his dog, his Labrador in the background there. That was one of my dogs from one of my litters of Labradors. I drove down because the people we sold him to wouldn't take care of him. And Mark's wife offered to take the dog, and of course Mark's wife and my wife got together, and that's what I was doing. I had no say in the matter. So I drove one way and back to North Carolina in a single day to give Mark a dog. And I can tell you, in that 30 minutes that we spent in North Carolina with Mark and his wife, Mark was a completely different person. Totally different. Totally different. When his wife said something, that motherfucker snapped too.
No,
whatever, bro. That's the truth. That's the truth.
True.
That's the truth. That's the truth. You snap too. I want Jennifer to go, but I don't think she's going to go. Jennifer thinks that Mrs. Tanner was going the whole time, and now she's pissed, thinking that I didn't want her to go. You know what I mean?
No. Jen, that's not true.
Yeah, she thinks that I didn't want her to go, and that's not the truth.
Yeah.
Because
no,
I didn't know Mrs. Tanner was going until the last minute. You just told me that shit. So, and
Yeah.
not the last minute, but I found that out later. You know what I mean? Because we had talked about maybe getting all the wives together and going. You know what I mean? And we'd been talking about that the last couple times we've gotten together.
Like other than that bar that we ended up in that we didn't belong in, that we got patted down, there's nothing that we did in KCMO that we wouldn't bring our wives to.
No.
You know.
I mean, there was nothing I did at the huge convention that I wouldn't done with Jennifer. I mean, we just ate and drank, and that her being there would have just made it more comfortable for me. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Jennifer's my shield. She makes me stronger when she's around. You know, I feel a lot bolder when Jen's in the room. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just you don't get that with your wife, Kate. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just feel emboldened with Jennifer around. You know what I mean? Because I don't take no L's with Jennifer around.
I'm pretty much the same. I mean, I might be a little more reserved, but
I'm the opposite.
Nothing I do.
I'm the opposite.
Like, dude, it's just like this. This is what she said to me, exact words, because I told you this the other day. Her words were, "I really wish TJ was going to the IWCA." And I go, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah." So, because the stupid shit you guys do makes me laugh. And I go, "We don't do stupid shit. We do funny things. We do funny shit."
Jennifer thought the farting in the phone was the most ridiculous thing in the world. But now she's gotten used to it. Now she thinks it's just as funny as we do. You know what I mean? Glass realms. Which came first, the attack mop or the handy sleeve? The handy sleeve came first. Anything. The handy sleeve. All's the attack mop is a fucking straight rip off of the handy sleeve. That's just it in a nutshell. I could tell you guys right now, I've had a handy sleeve since last summer. You know what I mean? I had my handy sleeve was in a video in March of last year, of 2019.
Yeah.
In March of 2019. I actually had the handy sleeve in February of 2019. So I can tell you right now that the handy sleeve came first. I know for a fact that it did. I've got the prototypes to prove it.
You're fixing to get your.
I'm gonna have an attack mop. Mark's buddy bought us some attack mops because we knew Perry wouldn't sell them to us.
I have both of them. I have both of them.
Both of them.
I have both of them. And they're not even in comparison.
Yeah,
one of them has screws holding it together. The mop handle itself is so cheap you can squeeze it. Like, you know where you put the pole? You can squeeze that and deform it. That's how thin it is.
Yeah.
So you know it's going to crack right away. The Velcro on the
other version
handy sleeve is double
the
density.
Yeah.
You know, the stitching on it.
Well, the Velcro on the handy sleeve is actual Velcro, the actual patented product, not a knockoff. It's actual Velcro. You know what I mean? The company that invented Velcro, that's where they're getting Velcro from.
Well, because they tested all of them, and it's the best one.
It's the best
and it costs twice as much as the knockoffs. Okay, but it's twice as good. The attack mops, you'll see when you get them, dude. First of all, trying to figure out what you do with it is one thing, and then it's typical.
Well, see, what we did was we had Mark's friend order us some attack mops because we knew Perry would not sell us attack mops. So we had him buy them for us. Mark kept some. I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna try them out. I'm gonna give him I'm not gonna give him a shitty review just to give him a shitty review, but I trust Mark wholeheartedly when it comes to cleaning windows because he's been doing it since the 80s and he's like my best friend and like legit, I know he knows what he's talking about, and you know he even said, he goes, I'm gonna try him out, give him a shot, and then like that very next day he went on to use them, and then like he's like, dude, I made it like 20 minutes, man. He goes, they don't hold fucking water, dude. Which, you know, I don't know if that's just, that could be like a technique thing too, because I know a lot of guys are switching to just squirting water on the windows and stuff like that. Which, you know, I don't know. It might work. It might not work. I don't know. That's just not my thing. So, I don't know. I just, you know, I'm going to try them out. I already know what's better. I know guys are like, oh, I can make my own handy sleeve with Velcro on this T-bar. That's cool, but there's more to that handy sleeve than what you guys are, thinking. There's going to be larger sizes that are going to include mop covers, so you can put a handy sleeve on your T-bar, and then wrap different kinds of, mops to your handy sleeve. It's so tight, it doesn't move around. It's not sloppy. Do you have one, Mark? You don't have a washer, do you? A handy sleeve washer?
I have 18.
Okay.
Yes.
And they're super tight. Are you zip tying your shit anymore?
No, I don't. I've never touched that thing since I put it on.
It's fucking rad, man.
I've never had to do anything.
Yeah,
I was
it's
using
rad
it today.
Yeah, it's rad. It's rad. So
no. There's no comparison between the two. One of them has screws holding it to the T-bar, so like you can't even change it without taking it apart. You know, what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's because it's such thin material.
Right.
Okay. There's no backing to it. Like the handy sleeve has backing material to it. It's double stitched around the edges.
Don't just wait. Hey guys, hey, buckle up for the fucking Attack Mop 2.0.
yeah. It'll probably have a kickstand on it. Well, here's the difference. And this is something that is not even debatable when I say this. When you use the handy sleeve and you use the handy sleeve with the mop covers on it, you will see it was designed in mind by and for window cleaners. When you use the Attack Mops, okay, you have to have a high level of patience trying to figure it out, and you will see that it's just not good. It's not designed by somebody that's going to wash windows for a living.
Right.
It's just not.
It's designed by someone that hasn't.
It's typical smoke and mirrors.
I mean, when we went to KC Mo and for his grand opening, and Mark built like the entire store, him and Seth Byers and what's his nuts? Casper and the other dude, and Joseph Henry Hardy. Yeah, Casper put up walls in that bitch.
Yeah.
But anyways, you can, I don't, like I said, it's just seeing the technique on video is one thing, but to watch him use a water-fed pole in person, I knew right away that this is not something that he does. It's not something he ever did for a living. He's like, we used to use water-fed poles. We didn't use traditional tools. Everything was pure water. Then you should be better with a fucking pole than that. Because how tall was that building? 3 stories? Yeah.
Yeah, 3-4 stories.
3-4 stories. He had his full arsenal out there, and the dude could barely clean the windows. Like, I'm not just saying that. That's the truth. That's the truth. Yep. I have raw footage of him. He does not use the reach it technique, the faster, better, safer fucking horse shit he's been talking about for 2 or 3 years. He never did that one time on that window. It was laughable. We were that's why I got yelled at. He yelled at us because we were fucking clowning him because
we were giggling.
Yeah, because you don't know what he's doing. It was an eye opener, man. Going there and being around him for 2 days. And the way he treated us. I mean, I had no reason to go there. I went there because he asked us. He needed our support. He knew if we'd come, guys would show up. So we went. And it was a fucking shit show, man. It was a shit show. The guy's a fucking scam, dude. I'm sorry. If there's people watching that bothers, I apologize. If you like his gear, that's cool too. I don't, whatever. That's fine. I think there's better stuff out there. And I'm not just saying that just to say that. I owned about $4,000 or $5,000 for that guy's shit. I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not just saying this, because I don't like him. I owned all the gear. I was first in line for everything for 2 years, first in line. I thought it was a shit. And then I started complaining about things. Slowly but surely, stuff started to break down. And when shit didn't get taken care of like it was promised to get taken care of, I started getting mad at him. Then we show up at that show, and Mark buys $1,000 worth of shit and don't get it for almost 2 months. Almost 2 months.
Yeah.
I ordered a dozen of rubbers, the soft, because I wanted to try out the soft. Because, dudes like, we got soft, we got this. I'm like, cool. So I ordered it. Almost 48 days to get a dozen rubbers from Kansas City. 48 days. That's not a lie. I've got the documentation. No. We have the emails. He's a snake oil salesman, and his round brush bullshit is the best. Now he's selling square-ended brushes because he doesn't have a fucking clue. He couldn't buy a clue. So there you go. Well, that's how we feel.
Some people go by this. If you throw enough shit on the wall, sooner or later something's going to stick.
Yeah.
But you're burning bridges at just throwing shit.
How do we get on this? Yeah. Oh, yeah, the handy sleeve was first. And it's patent pending. So good luck with all that
so
shit.
It's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time before that gets stopped
get.
at the border, son.
Yeah,
that's gonna be overseas only gear. So eat a dick, bitch.
Yeah. Well, look, who do you want to help out? You want to help out a guy that's a window cleaner trying to make a living? You want to help out a guy that's
living
overseas
off the window cleaning
that doesn't
industry.
make his living washing windows, you know?
Well, I mean, that's not even it. I mean, there's plenty of companies out there that they're not fucking cleaning windows no more. They're making money off window cleaners, but they do it in a respectable manner. They give you what you pay for.
Makes some tight ass shit.
Sean Gavin, when you get shit like the Alpha Scrubber, he sent out 12 prototypes of that for and we had him for almost 6 months before he even sold one. He's like, I don't even know if I want to sell them. I don't know. It's okay. And everyone's like, man, I want that. And now everybody's got him and loves him. And it's bull. There's nothing to it. There's no fucking shit you got to glue together. You got to shove a fucking tree branch in to keep it from leaking.
Teflon tape.
It doesn't have to squirt around corners. Look, I can squirt around a corner.
But you know what the interesting thing is? It does not come with a Ziploc bag with a screwdriver, extra parts.
You don't need a toolkit with none of that shit from Tucker, man.
No.
You don't need no shit toolkit from Simpol neither, or fucking Zero. You don't need toolkits. They just send you a solid product out the gate, and if it's fucked up, they'll fix it for you. You don't have to fight them. You have to fight them for it. Oh, you're too hard on the gear. That's Perry Tate's excuse for shit. Is you're too hard on the gear. That's what he used to tell Jason Lehman all the time. You're too hard on the gear. I just don't believe that. I just, you know what I mean?
Well,
I just don't believe that.
Think of it like this. Guys that do pressure cleaning, guys that are making a living pressure washing, are they buying their pressure washer at Home Depot?
No.
Or are they going to a supplier
that
makes industrial or commercial machines?
Yeah. Most people start out at
that's mowing lawn. Is Joshua Schoaf that's mowing lawns in the winter?
Is he going to Walmart to buy his lawnmower? Probably not.
Yeah. Is it? Do you buy a lawnmower at Home Depot and go commercially cut grass, or do you go to a mower supply and drop $10,000 and get a zero turn?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, like I said, it's cool if you like that gear. I'm not hating on you, man. That's cool. It's whatever. But I really feel like a lot of new guys in the industry run to Reach It stuff because of how it looks. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's camouflage. I mean, you notice all his shit is shiny as shit. But when it comes right down to it, it's bubblegum shit. It's shit that you put 25 cents in there for, turn the handle, and it comes out in a little plastic bubble, and you pop it open, and look, I'm a window cleaner. You know?
Yeah. Well, I will say this, and I'm the first to admit it. I honestly believe the concept of the constructor brush with interchangeable bristles and everything is brilliant. I think it's a great idea. Whoever came up with that, it's a great idea. It's nice. Not that you're ever going to rebuild a brush on site. Let's be real.
Right.
Okay? But if you know you got a job tomorrow that's really dirty, you want to trade out the bristles for horse hair, or hog hair, whatever.
Right.
But
it needs
to sit there.
This is the problem. It's a great idea. It's a great concept. But the problem is this. After all of the money that has been filtered into that brush, he launched that brush with the aspirations that he was going to have the most innovative brush on the market. It was going to be modular. You could take it apart. Like you said, just have one fucking thing. You could change out your bristles to hog hair, to whatever. Build your own brush the way you prefer it to be built. That's the way he marketed it. Now, he's gone from that to, we're not making brushes that come apart no more. Have you noticed that? That's his thing now with the orbital brush.
Yeah.
You don't need to take this apart. You don't need to take them apart no more.
Yeah.
It's been perfect. No.
Yeah.
So which is it? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? This is the problem.
Yeah.
He could not get that idea solid enough for it to come apart easily and being put back together easily for it to actually mean something. And after all that money for his research and development, he went from, I'm going to make a completely modular brush to, we're not doing that no more. Never mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
that's the
I
problem.
remember,
He'll take an idea, but he won't finish it out. He's just incapable of solidifying the idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it was years ago. It was funny. After the, I believe it was after Constructor Brush, and I bought an alpha brush
Yeah.
with the boar's hair in the middle, nylon bristle on the outside. And I have these lamps I clean
You were in
once
my
a month for
inbox
Lucia.
saying, "You
And I
gotta
had
buy
the
one
pole-
of these
yeah.
brushes, dumbass."
I had
telling
that
you.
fucker on my pole cleaning these lamps.
Mhm.
And I used it on a job before, and I'm like, this motherfucker here doesn't miss a beat. It is fucking badass. Well, I put that picture up, not thinking someone would zoom in and see that it had a different brush on a reach it pole. And I think you,
It was
yeah.
me.
Hey, what the fuck you got
Fucking
there? And I'm like,
traitor.
"Dude, you gotta buy it. This motherfucker is badass.
Yeah, he got my inbox. He's like, "Dude," he goes, "I know you don't want to hear this, but this brush is better, like way better." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Way better." And I bought one, and I haven't looked back. It's just, it performs, man. It performs, dude. They just perform.
Well, and like I said, look, I'm a hobbyist, right?
Mm-hmm.
I build shit all the time for my hobby. I don't want to build shit for my business as a hobby. I want to leave my business in the bed of my truck when I take the keys out and lock
Right.
it up for the day.
Right. You
And I
don't
wanna
want to go
do
to
something
you don't want to go
outside
to
the
work
realm.
and have
Yeah.
to work on your fucking work tools.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of years as a carpenter in and also in doing industrial maintenance and shit. I cannot tell you one time where I had to stop and fix something that I owned to fix something else. To do my job, to perform my duty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most hand tools you have forever. You know what I mean? Like I've got a brass squeegee that I'll probably have the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got a pole I've had for 11 years. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you know, you don't want to work on things when you go to work. You just don't want to. And you got to do that with this stuff. I wish him all the luck in the world. I hope he fucking eats 1,000 dicks and doesn't choke on any of them. I really do.
Yeah, but you know what? Just back this up for a minute. Just think about this for a minute.
What?
Right? Think about this for a minute. Instead of raping everybody buying that shit, how good could that company have been with the willingness to try to make new products, but just do them right out of the box? You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is the problem.
Innovative.
This is the problem with that is like he like started off like, hey, I want your guys' input, but he doesn't implement any of it. How many times did you see all over the internet where guys are like, why don't you put a nut and bolt on that brush instead of those four tiny ass Phillip head screws? How quickly could that have been implemented? Almost instantly, but it never happened.
Yep.
It never happened because he's a cheapskate.
Yeah.
You know? So about the IWCA, it's really great. You'll probably see some Reach It junk. It might be Reach It or it might be rebranded Reach. I heard that Lee Burbridge is going to be there. That should be exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exciting. Yeah. Well, look, I'm going. I'm looking forward to meeting Chris and Alex, you know, and whoever else is there.
You're getting catfished. They're not going, dude.
Well, I hope they do. I really like to shake, you know, Chris and Alex's hand. I still haven't apologized for saying he sells shit through ABC.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we'll be fine.
Oh yeah. He's still mad at you about that. I don't blame him. You're a douchebag.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, I what the
you
fuck
know what,
today,
dude?
Mark Darnell. I what the fuck every day, bro. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry, buddy.
I want to go over something I saw on Facebook that lit my fucking ass. That you kind of know where the background is, and this story might have been told years ago on a original podcast, but so I'm just kind of scrolling through one of the Facebook window cleaning pages, and some guy puts up a post saying, "Fish went in and cut the price of one of my jobs. This sucks," or I don't know. Maybe he didn't get it or whatever. And then I see this one name comments on it, and I looked at the name and I'm like, I've been looking to find that motherfucker for 6 years now. Okay, there's a company around here south of me. It's a route company. Got 5 or 6 employees, and that dude, he buys up a lot of work. So if you want to sell a route, you know, he's built his business based on purchasing smaller companies. And anyway, when my father passed away, he went in the hospital for pacemaker surgery and he never came home. Basically, he had a list what was left of his business. He did it pretty much part-time, but he still went out 5 days a week. He loved the industry. And after, 40 years, I don't know, he had probably $1,500, $2,000 a month worth of route work left. And he went to the hospital and he told me, he said, I have a list for you in the car of my route. So if I don't get back to this real quick, you'll help me out. And I said, absolutely. Well, I never got that list. And he passed away. And I didn't have a great relationship with my father's wife. So that list ended up in the hands of a guy by the name of Rusty. And Rusty, I had to clear my throat. Rusty was one of these guys that was always making deals in window cleaning. I bought business from him. My father worked with them. They were friends. They socialized. My father never socialized with a lot of window cleaners. He just didn't care for most of them. But this was a guy that at the end stabbed my dad in the back. So Rusty got a hold of that list and went to this other guy and said, hey, the owner of this died, Mel passed away, and we can make you a deal on this. Well, that guy, Robert, took that list, went into the customers, said he purchased the business, Mel passed away, and he was going to be servicing the accounts. He had the list, the prices, fucking everything, right? So because that guy went into a couple accounts that my company services, that let's say a guy has 3 stores.
And before you get too far into this, hold on to that thought for a second. You actually told me that you would have been willing to sell him some of the route if he would have just done it in an upright manner.
I didn't have much interest in it because the closest store was 50 miles away from me, But understand, let me back this up a second. In 1986, when I started working for my dad, a lot of that work was what I learned to clean windows. So it's kind of a family thing, and I held it fond to my heart because I remember being there at 4 o'clock in the morning, washing this storefront, looking at an index card, wondering, is this the one I'm supposed to clean? So it's a childhood memory, basically. So at any rate, this guy Robert gets a hold of the list, and he starts soliciting, going into the accounts that he's taking them over, and it's the same price, and it's a new mailing address. Well, he walked into one of them that was, again, a job I gave to my father, one of 3 locations. I did 2, my dad did 1. And that guy called me, and he said, this is what's going on. I've got his card. I go, I know who he is. I don't need his card. But I tried to do the politically correct thing. So I call the guy up, and I'm like, listen, my dad's not even in the ground yet, I call this guy up. My world is upside down. And I say, hey, I know you did business off and on with my dad back and forth, and I don't know how you got that list yet. I said, but, I would really appreciate it if you just backed off. Whatever you've already taken, you can keep it. I don't care. I said, but, most of that work only is sentimental to me, and the whole plan was to give it to Gary, my buddy who worked with my dad that still is in business to this day. And I go, so I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And he goes just like this. I don't have to understand anything. And he hangs up on me. Okay? So at that point, what little I knew of the list I gave down to Gary. Gary secured the work and still cleans it to this day and takes care of the accounts that, I have that go down into the other county. And I did call him back, and I said, listen, you better hope I never find you on the street. And you know what? Over the last 6 years, everybody changes. Things have changed. I've softened up. But when he wrote on that post, this is how I found him again, was because he wrote on this post, we have 6 franchises of fish in our area, which is a lie. That's a total lie, because I know who owns the vision. But anyway, we have 6 franchise fishes, and they go into my work all the time. It's off and on, stealing back and forth. And I wasn't going to comment on it. I'm like, I've outgrown this. And then finally I just go, kind of like what you did when my father passed away, asshole. I'm hoping I would get a response.
And he never did.
But I still haven't got that response
He never did.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
It's not very often that you do things like that. You don't. So I knew when I read that, I was like, oh, Mark's pissed off about this. Yeah, I know, because you don't normally do shit like that. I'm more the impulsive one.
I stared at it, and then I screenshotted it so I could find it again. And as soon as I went to another page, like a fire went up. It was like, spontaneous combustion. I'm gonna fucking kill this motherfucker.
Right.
You know. But I believe what comes around goes around, and he'll get his. He will.
Yeah.
You know, and like I've said, dude, 20 years ago, I'd be banging on his motherfucking door.
Right.
You know, this would have been solved.
I mean, you know, that just goes to show the kind of work that how you were trained and all that shit. Because your dad, I mean, how long have those accounts been in that little group of people there? You, your dad, and Gary. How long?
40,
I mean,
almost 40 years. Some of them almost 40 years.
Just think about that.
Some of those people. The interesting thing to me would, if you look into the history of it, is some of those people that Gary still cleans, that him and I cut our teeth on in the 80s. Their children are now running the business because their parents either retired or passed on. So it's been handed down family to family. And, you know, Gary's somebody I consider family. Right. So it was my pleasure to give him as much of that work as I could because I knew he was out on the streets with me at 5 o'clock in the morning washing it. Right. And he was entitled to it, in my opinion, you know.
Fucking people are something else, man. This is the Scumbag Podcast.
Yeah, well... There's a lot of scumbag window cleaners out there. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of good ones too. But, you know, and you have that in every industry. And window cleaning, they can be the bottom of the barrel out there. You know, I mean, I remember one time I had these Burger Kings that were down south, and I finally subbed them out to a guy named Dave. Nice kid. His dad was a window cleaner. And I'm like, look, I got these 5 Burger Kings. I got, you know, a chain of them, like 15. I said, I'm going to give you these 5 because it doesn't pay for me to drive 50 miles to the first one. And I'll pay you what they're paying me. You know, just invoice me every month. And as long as you're doing a good job. I get there. One of them called and had a visit. You know, I'm sure you deal with that sometimes. I had a visit. So, like, can you move the cleaning to this day because we got a visit later in the afternoon? No problem. I'm calling this guy. He doesn't answer. He's not answering. And finally I said, I'll just go down in the morning and take care of it. So I get there. And Dave's dad, who should have retired 10 years prior, he's got an old hatchback car with a broom handle holding the trunk lid up because the shocks were, you know, those gas shocks were blowed out. I didn't see him. I start washing the job, and all of a sudden I got this ornery old man in my face. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, whoa, who the fuck are you? And he says, what, JT? Open this. Bring it here. So you can't open it? All them muscles you got? There you go.
What?
Yeah.
The whole family's on tonight. I like how you called him a pussy because that's exactly what I would have said too.
Yeah. So this old guy gets up in my face and everything, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? He says, I'm Jerry, and I go, oh, you must be Dave's dad. He goes, yeah. He goes, who the fuck are you? Washing this job. I go, whoa, this is my account. You're doing it for me. I go, they called and wanted to have a visit, and Dave never called me back, so I want to make sure it's taken care of. He goes just like this. He looks at me, looks at my belt, looks at my truck, looks at my tools. He goes, you motherfuckers have no idea what you're doing. And I'm like, what? I didn't come here to fight, you know? What the fuck? You know? And he goes, I'm looking at his, you know, I'm about to make a comment about his old broom handle holding up the fucking trunk lid. He goes, you didn't come up the way I did. I go, look, you know my dad, man. I go, my dad taught me how to clean windows. He goes, you guys with the fancy trucks and the work belts and everything, you have no. I'm like, listen, you go clean my job and climb back under your fucking rock. Just make sure my Burger King is clean. I got to go. But that's, you know, they were street people back in the day when I first started.
Right.
You know, it was a business you could get into for less than $100. That's all you needed was $100 and a good mouth and some business cards, and you went and built a business.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I agree with. I agree with what you're saying there, Marcus. He said, despite all that, there's too many windows to clean, more than there are window cleaners. Even if everyone in the world got together to clean windows, we still couldn't keep up.
That's true. I mean,
yeah, you know, I'm in total agreement with all that, but it's not really about the work or the lack of work. It's the way you handle yourself with other humans. If you do shit, if you're like an underhanded motherfucker, you know what I mean, and like take advantage of people in situations, then you should be handled in an underhanded way. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a bitch, maybe you need to be slapped like one. You know that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's true. I mean, you know, those times for me, growing up and getting up at 4 o'clock to meet my dad by 5 o'clock, or whether it was cold out or not. I mean, we don't have a lot of winter in Florida, but when it is, it sucks to go out and fucking wash at that time. I feel for you guys. I rag on you and tease you when you got to go clean a Burger King at 6 a.m. and it's fucking 40 degrees out. But
40? 40 degrees? No,
yeah.
like 20 degrees or less right now. 40 degrees. That's super cold. I know it's going to be super cold down there in Florida. Aren't you guys like, they're saying the lizards are dying and falling out of the trees and shit down there, ain't they?
Well, we have a lot. We've been inundated with iguanas. Dude, we got iguanas that are like half the size of alligators. They're big motherfuckers.
Really?
Big. I mean, 4 and 5
that's
foot
not
long.
That's not an indigenous species, is it? That's an invasive one, isn't it?
No. Yeah.
Like
it's
people
an invasive one.
let their fucking iguanas go, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The same way with the
exactly.
snakes and shit, like the boas and shit like that.
Yes.
People just cut them loose.
Well, they brought pythons here, and pythons, they let them go in the Everglades. Now they have a python hunt because they're not indigenous to Florida, and their python's big enough to kill fucking deer, So every year they have a python hunt, to catch these 15-foot fucking pythons. They're killing the food chain in the Everglades.
What would you do if you saw a fucking python in your yard? You'd shoot it, right?
I'm not a snake guy. I'm not a reptile guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a snake guy. If it was, my neighbor had like a 5-foot rattlesnake in his yard. We killed that motherfucker with a shovel.
Fuck that!
I have a black racer snake in my yard, and I think he's been here as long as I have because I've watched him
grow.
When I'm mowing, every now and again he'll go slithering across the yard, and they're not poisonous. They keep rodents down. They keep poisonous snakes out because they're territorial. And I'll see them as I'm mowing the grass, and I'm like, "You go your way, I'll go mine. We all good." I'm not a fan of snakes.
Fuck a snake and a spider.
Yeah.
Fuck them both.
Yeah.
And I'm a window cleaner.
Yeah, I don't like spiders.
I was cool with spiders for the longest time. I never had a problem with them. And then when I was my second year of window cleaning, we were doing this job, and it was covered in spiders. You know what I mean? And we were like in and out of the bushes, and I'm banging these all out. And again, I get in the truck, and I'm sitting in the truck, and my buddy Jeremy's like, "Dude," I'm like, "What? What?" He's like, "Dude," and he keeps pointing. And I'm like, "What, motherfucker?" He's like, "Look at that big ass spider on you." And this huge ass spider, I didn't get to it. Climbed up on my fucking face. Just now, I got goosebumps talking about it. Ever since then, I've just been, I don't know what it is, man. Just recently, I was never like that. Now, if Jennifer and the girls ask me to, like, eliminate a spider from the house, I can do that. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. But if I'm out working, I got the trad 12 stretched all the way out. You know what I mean? I'm like 12 foot away from the window knocking spiders down. I'm such a puss.
Yeah, I'm not a spider. I'm not a bug fan. I don't like spiders.
What's up, Jacob?
We got wasps here called yellow jackets that are like this big, man. Them motherfuckers are usually if you do residential window cleaning, you come across wasp nests and stuff. I usually take a rag, put it on the pole. Now I would use a handy sleeve and jam it in there. You kill 90% of them and then whack the rest of them. We got yellow jackets, they called here, and they're striped wasps, about twice the size of regular wasps. Them motherfuckers will hunt you down. Well, you mess with them.
There's, you know what a cicada is, right?
No, what's that?
The cicada is that...
It's a bug, right?
Yeah, it's a bug that it makes that wah, 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 noise in the summertime.
Yeah.
That's a cicada.
Okay.
Well, there's wasps that are called cicada killer wasps. They're fucking humongous. They're like this big, and they like sandy soil. And like every so many years, they come out and they kill cicadas and they lay eggs in them, the motherfuckers, inside the cicada. But they're called cicada killer wasps. They're fucking like this big, bro. We were doing this job in this new development. It's called Sandy Acres. And it was an inside and out construction clean. And I'm inside the house. I'm inside the house cleaning these windows. And Jeremy's like, I'm going to do the outside. Because Jeremy liked to smoke a lot. You know what I mean? So he would be outside smoking cigarettes and cleaning the outside windows. And I'd do the inside. You know what I mean? So I'm doing the inside. Then all of a sudden I see Jeremy fucking like hauling ass and jump into the truck, and he calls me on my cell phone. He's like, "Dude, there are these giant fucking wasps. They're like the size of a bird." I'm like, "What?" So I'm like instantly thinking like Jumanji or some shit's going on. I go outside and sure as shit, they're that big, bro. You could hear them.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you could feel wind when they come past you. It was fucking a trip. They didn't care about you because their objective is to kill cicadas. You know what I mean? But Jeremy, dogs and them wasps, anything that flies, Jeremy didn't like. But I was actually bit by a brown recluse when I did.
Oh, I got bit by one too, a small one, thankfully.
Me too, a small one. It left a fucking dot in my back of my arm that's still there to this day.
Oh yeah,
But
it'll make you sick.
Yeah, dude, it was not cool. I worked for.
I told you when I had killer bees. We got killer bees now. We never had killer bees.
Killer bees.
They're little bees, right? They're half the size. They're
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Go ahead, Mark.
My son, when my neighbor was moving.
Yeah.
Her husband passed, so Scott was cutting her grass. And he came home one day all stung up, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to you? And he got stung like 7 times by these bees. He goes, I ran over a nest and must have been under the ground or something. I don't know. So I went back and finished cutting the yard. I never saw no bees. About 2 weeks later, I'm mowing my yard, and I have an oak tree, and there's some palm trees around it. And I make a pass around the oak tree. And I get buzzed. That means, like a bee comes and hits you, but they don't sting you. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I look over and there's like 20 bees, and there's one that kept coming at me. So I rode away. I said, those must be them African motherfuckers.
Africanized.
Well, they lit me up.
Africanized. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, they lit me up. I mean, I got stung like 6 fucking times. I was riding away as fast as I could on a mower, and they lit me up. So
I got popped.
I go in, I get cleaned up.
I got popped by some.
Dude, I walked out. Yeah, I walked outside and they were attacking my lawnmower. I couldn't get near my lawnmower for about 4 hours. Yeah. So, I called my buddy who's a pest control guy, and he does bees, and he's like, yeah, those are African killer bees, or Africanized bees. He goes, they're fucking aggressive. I go, dude, one buzzed me and bumped me, but it didn't sting me. He goes, that's the drone, I guess they call it, and he calls the other ones in when it's time to go attack. So I let it calm down. I was like, dude, you got to come get rid of these bees. So he's like, all right, let me see what I got to get. And I sent him some pictures where they were coming from. I had an oak tree that had a split in the bottom of it, and it was wide open. It looked like a big fucking vagina. You could put your hand in there if you wanted to, probably. Well, it was at the dirt level, and it was about a foot up the tree. And I seen him going in there and coming out. So I'm like, motherfucker. Well, that guy calls me back. $800 because he's got to put a bee suit on. He's got to smoke them out. This and that. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm in the market to spend $800 to get rid of these motherfuckers. And he's like, well, let me know if you need any, if you want, that's what it's going to be. So I go online. I research these bees, and they're much more docile. They're not active at nighttime, right? So I tell Scott, I go, we're going to get the motherfuckers tonight. And he goes, I'm not going near it. I go, no, they're quiet at night. Right? So I'm sitting there, dude. I'm looking at this tree going, how the fuck am I going to get these things? Because I bought some, I went and bought the best shit I could that freezes them and kills them instantly. But you need 5 people standing there spraying when they swarm.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking at this tree, and I'm like, how can I get it? And, dude, I had a brilliant idea. Even my pest control guy, when I told him what I did because he called me back, he's like, that was the smartest thing I've ever heard. I had a roll of shrink wrap on a tube, right? It comes on a tube, and you pull it off. So Scott and I pulled about 6 feet of it out. I held the roll. He held the open end. We waited till like 9 o'clock at night. They were still buzzing around, but they weren't heavy. And we planned the attack. I had everything, tape in my pockets. I had everything. He puts it at the base of the tree, and I run around the tree, and we seal that motherfucker up, right? So I put fucking like 5 layers of duct tape, and you could hear, they're trying to get out, right? Well, dude, the cool thing was the shit I bought had a straw. So I just poked the straw through the plastic. It was like 6 layers thick. And then fogged those motherfuckers out. I'm not lying to you, T. The ground was moving. There was so many underground, you could feel the buzzing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And the next day, I went to Home Depot, and I bought another can of that shit, and I fucking fucked them out. I let them stay sealed up for like a week. When I pulled it out, dude, you could smell the death. It was fucking tremendous. And then, so I put spray foam. You know that spray foam shit that you buy in a can? It took like 4 cans of spray foam to fill that gap. That's how deep underground they went, man. Yeah.
We pulled when I did construction, we pulled a ceiling out in this apartment building, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 7 or 8 floor joists wide, and they were at 2-foot centers. So it's like, I don't know, 12, 14 feet wide by I don't know, like maybe 5 sheets, 5 sheets deep. You know what I mean? So 4 times 20 foot, and we ripped that wide 20 foot back, and each floor joist had a nest in it. Like that deep,
like a mattress.
Yeah, like it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. This lady's like, no matter what I do, I hear buzzing. I don't know what it is. I can't fucking sleep. This lady is fucking freaking. I keep killing bugs. I don't know where the fuck they're coming from. So pissed off. Yeah. And finally, we were like, we go in, we get this maintenance call. We go in, we look, and I'm like, man, these are hornets, yellow jackets, hornets, whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, I don't know where they're coming from. I've been outside. I looked, and she goes, I keep telling them that there's something in here. They keep treating me like shit. I'm going to stop paying the rent. And I'm like, well, you do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to poke a hole. And we started listening. I was like, I'm going to poke a hole. And I poked a hole by the header over the patio door. And sure enough, they were moving around in there, and they dropped out, went nuts. The lady ran out. Yeah. We ran out, shut the door. They called somebody. They came in. They did the abatement, got rid of them, and then we went in to do the cleanup. And that's what was. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen, man. I've never seen anything like that in my life, dude. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. The dude, the exterminator, he's like, he goes, I've seen one bigger than that. I'm like, really? He's like, oh yeah. He goes, this is, and the thing is you don't really think about it because they're real small. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they're out doing their thing. You know what I mean? You don't notice. Yeah. You just think there's bees you know what I mean? There's always bees everywhere. But I've never, where this building was situated on the back half, I mean, it was a cornfield, so there was nobody behind this place ever. You know what I mean? It's just balconies and a little bit of yard and a cornfield. There's not another building, it's out there by itself. Yeah. So who knows how long they had been at it, man. But dude, I don't like bugs, man. Bugs piss me off.
Let me ask you got bats up there? Bats?
Of course,
bats, right? Mm-hmm. We have these little fruit bats. They're small. Mm-hmm. And they will go through soffit vents and nest in your attic, dude. Mm-hmm. And it's like when they come out. I had a old folks retirement home I used to wash the windows at, and I walked down into this courtyard, and I'm like, this fucking place smells. And I look down, and there's bat shit.
Oh.
Bat guano, dude. It was so bad. I went into the manager and I'm like, hey, you guys got a bat problem. They're like, we hear something in the attic flying around. I'm like, and you can't kill bats.
Right.
They're protected.
Right.
It cost them a lot of money to get that shit cleaned out. And then imagine how much shit was up in the attic because it was on the ground everywhere. I
can only imagine.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. So
no.
What time are you leaving to go to the IWCA? You're just driving up there, right? What time are you leaving?
I've got 2 accounts to do in the morning, so I'll be out of here by 10 a.m. Mm-hmm. And then it's a 6-hour drive. So, we should be up mid to late afternoon.
Mm-hmm. And how long are you going to be there? Just a couple days?
Coming back Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, I leave Saturday, so I'll be home Sunday. I'm bringing my Philip wants to. I guess Philip's got a deal set up where he can run water-fed poles. So I told him, he's like, oh, there's only one water outlet here. I'm like, dude, I'll bring my tank system and I'll fill it up before I leave. You'll have 50 gallons to play around with. So that should be pretty cool.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been in a couple years, and I'm sure I'll run into some people that I want to put a face to. The comments on Facebook and stuff, and it'll be interesting.
There'll be a lot of cool people there. Peter Artusa, I talked to him before he went down there. He said he's looking forward to sitting down and having a chat with you. So that, they're going to get to meet some cool people, and you get to hopefully Lee's there. You get to hang out with Lee. I know you're excited about that. That's cool that Chris and Al. If Chris is pretty adamant that he's going, so that's cool that Chris and Alex are going to show.
Well,
That's
like
cool.
I said, I was working yesterday or the day before, and I'm like, Philip had sent me a picture of the trade show and how it's laid out, and I didn't see anything from WCR in there, but I said, I wonder if he's going. So I just private messaged Chris. I'm like, hey, man, are you and Alex going to the IWCA? And he's like, yeah. I go, cool, I'm going too. Let's do dinner or hang out. And he's like, absolutely.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's good. I'm glad you'll get to meet him because I got to hang out with him.
Yeah, I want to.
So I got to hang out with him at the Huge. That was a good time, man. They're good dudes, man. Everyone, when you go to these conventions and stuff, you realize that these personalities on the internet and stuff are just people. You know what I mean? They're just people just like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might have differing opinions, but it's changed.
Anytime in the past that I've gone pre-Facebook and meeting you and everybody on these pages, I'd go to them. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to go see what cool gear was out, go to a couple classes. I've done the ladder safety thing. I've done the high-rise training with Stefan Brighton several times. Watch the competition, enter the competitions, that whole 9 yards. But now I'm not going for that shit no more. I'm going hopefully to meet some of the people that I've spoke with,
That's cool. If you guys watching this show want to support the podcast and get exclusive content from me and Mark, go to www.patreon.com/Squeegee Life. We have like a bunch of different tiers. You make a donation to the podcast, you get cool stuff from us, like t-shirts and membership cards and all kinds of cool, neat stuff. Keychains made by Mark with channels he used actually to make money in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, old school.
I was thinking, speaking of Patreon, you go to the Patreon only page where only the Patreon members are, and you'll be able to go live in there, Mark, on Friday while you're at the trade show. So I don't have to do the live video this week. You can do it at that trade show. You're there. So you can do it, right? In the Patreon page, right?
Yeah. It'll be
do I need
top battle royal.
Do I need to Yeah, do I need to Do I need to message Mrs. Tanner to get this done?
You might have to, because I don't even know how to do any of that. I'm being honest with you.
It's really simple. You go to the Squeegee Life Patreon page, the Patreon only page. You know the one I'm talking about, right? Yes. You go to that one and you click the live button, and then you go live.
Okay. I'll go live. I will. I'll do that.
You got to do that. You got to do that for me. Well, not for me, but you got to do that for the patrons, because I don't think there's a lot of patrons that are going to the IWCA.
Do I get double bonus points?
Yes.
I'm kind of thinking I'll probably still be an asshole when I get there because I'm an asshole.
Yeah. I get
of course. For fucking with people.
Yes, of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah. I have a Mr. Microphone interview people.
Is the fart archive included in the Patreon page? No, but that is something that I have been thinking about working on with Mark Tanner. Is doing like a massive collection of all our best farts, and then just putting it on, like just making just a long like compilation, like a fart compilation. Like I did the 2019 Squeegee compilation. I was thinking about doing the 2019 Mark and T Squeegee fart compilation, and we just take all our best farts and just like string them out. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
I'm in.
That
would be. That's a good idea. Now
I know it is.
We should do an app, right? Make an app for Squeegee Life patrons where they can put farts on there. We can catalog them and make them into ringtones or notification tones and stuff like that. And they're only by the Patreon members. What do you think of that?
Big Squeegee just said, I've tried joining and Patreon won't take my card. That's because they don't take the EBT card.
Wix.
They don't. Yeah, they don't take WIC, brother. Big Squeegee, aka my main man, 50 gram Mike Nichols. All you gotta do, you could do if you got PayPal, brother. Go to PayPal. I know nobody knows, but Mike Nichols is like 25 seconds away from moving to the woods and mailing people dynamite. You know what I mean? He's like, he's a fucking sweet guy, but don't fuck with him. He might shoot you and run you through a wood chipper, and nobody's ever gonna find you. You know what I mean? Because he's next level. But all you gotta do is set up a PayPal account, and then you could do it through PayPal. Might just send it to me, and I'll forward it through Patreon. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but there's different levels on the Patreon. You go from $1 a month, which is $12 a year, all the way up to $20. We got a bunch of guys that do $20 a month, which is very greatly appreciated as well. And they get they get super cool hookups. Like Seth is getting a super good deal on some Squeegee Life branded T-shirts for his company. So we're doing his company shirts for him. You know what I mean? His company shirts for him. Know what I mean, bruh? And he got a good deal on it. So yeah, we if we definitely I made the Sacred Order of the Squeegee cards up. That's for Patreon members. You get a plastic card with your name stamped into it. You're getting a T-shirt one of these days. Some things came up. Life came up, so you're gonna get them. I'll send them out. But
good, man.
Everyone will get one. That's a Patreon member. The first run is just for the OGs, the dudes that have been here since Jump. I'm going to make a new Patreon card for 2020, but, everyone will get a new 2020 card, but nobody else is getting the 2019 cards except for the guys that were patrons in 2019. So something you can hang on to, something like, your kid when you're dead will be going through the door. I'm like, Dad was part of a secret society that had to do with window cleaning. What a fucking nerd.
Yeah. Is he in the Illuminati?
Yeah. But there's going to be some Patreon exclusive stuff that we're doing this year. Like, I know a lot of people are going to be upset, but there's going to be some Mark Tanner T Squeegee YouTube videos that we're going to be making here in a couple weeks that nobody but patrons are going to see ever.
Yeah, and that's going to have some awesome information on it. Well, it ain't going to be us fucking around climbing a lighthouse. It's going to be next level shit. Right.
Well, some people will see some of that stuff, but the Patreon members will see a little more, I think. They'll get to see a little more behind the scenes and stuff, too. So,
absolutely.
But, yeah, you know how it goes. You know how we do's it.
Yes. You ready for a strange news story?
I should get to go first this week. You went first last week.
Okay, have at it.
Well, this is mine. My weird news of the week is from the Huffington Post, or Huff Post, whatever you want to call it. It's a former manager of DoD Aerospace Threat Program, UFOs Are Real. And this is, never mind, dude. I didn't read this before I did it. Well, this is from 2017, so this isn't new news. Man, sorry. You got to go now, Mark. It's your turn, Mark.
Okay,
I fucked up already, guys. Okay. Sorry.
Here's this one. Woman arrested for masturbating in public continued in a cop car. Hey, baby. A half-naked woman was arrested after being caught masturbating in public in Austin, Texas, then allegedly continued pleasuring herself while handcuffed in a police car. Police responded to a complaint from the JW Marriott Austin Hotel around 5:20 p.m. Tuesday about a woman across the street holding a silver object against her pelvis. Against her privates, with her legs straight up in the air, spread open, according to the arrest affidavit. Once again, hey, baby. A hotel worker said he could hear the woman identified by authorities as Dovie Nichols, 26 years old, making moaning noises, the affidavit reads. The worker saw the woman masturbating on the patio for about 7 or 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. The worker said the woman told him to back off as he approached her to tell her to stop. She then went to the second bar and kitchen across the street where lewd behavior allegedly continued.
Jeez.
The outlet reported, yeah, man, she must have had a fire down there. When police arrived at the bar, the woman stopped moving her arms under the table and placed them on top of it. But officers observed that Nichols was not wearing any pants, the affidavit said. After being arrested, Nichols had allegedly continued to pleasure herself, even while handcuffed in the back of the police car. The cops went across the street to investigate the original complaint and learned from a hotel employee that the woman had been spotted earlier at the Marriott street-level patio, the affidavit said. Nichols was charged with indecent exposure and sent to the Travis County Jail with bail set at $3,000.
That's crazy, dude.
Ain't you the two that's been whacking off in my camper?
Oh man, dude, that's so good, dude. We gotta get you. We gotta do another Beavis and Butthead roast. We gotta do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whacking off in my camper.
Dude, been whacking off in my camper. You know what? The thing is, maybe because we're not looking. Mess. Kevin's not around. I hope we didn't have anything to do with all that.
Yeah, we don't have nobody to fuck with anymore, dude, except for Perry, and that shit gets old. You know what I mean? And Lee, if you bring up Lee on YouTube, he gets all mad and tries to get you kicked off of YouTube, starts crying.
Yeah.
Lee was super.
I'm gonna rehash a story that again was from many moons ago, but I think you'll remember it once I start talking about it. But it was probably, it didn't change my life, but it definitely will stick with me till the day I die. Dave Casnocha knows because he goes to the same gas station when he was local here. There's an Exxon gas station here that has a Dunkin' Donuts built into it on the interior. And I don't normally buy fuel from there, but I must have been low for whatever reason. I pull my truck up in there, I get some fuel, and I walk in to buy a bottle of water. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and you walk straight in the store, and there's that big booth where the attendant sits, okay, and then all the candies below him, and then aisles of shit is over here, and I hear this rustling around, and I look down on the ground, and there's like a 400-pound black woman, completely naked, rolling around on the dirty floor. She was rolling like this, and rolling like this, and rolling like this, and as she was doing that, every time she rolled, she'd go into the rack full of cookies and candy and potato chips and shit, right? So
she was the attendant?
No.
Oh.
The attendant was sitting behind the glass. No. Well, there's more to the story. The attendant was behind the glass, right?
Good God, yeah.
So I walk in there, and my eyes have to adjust, right? Because I'm like, what the fuck am I seeing here, you know? Now, I look off to the right, and there's people buying donuts and coffee, not paying any attention, and I only looked because I heard this slapping sound, which was everything. Yeah, sounded like that when she was rolling around on the floor. So I'm standing there about 3 feet away from the attendant, and I look at him and I go, what kind of fucking store are you running here? Right? And he goes, I don't know what happened. She went in the bathroom and came out like that. She must be on drugs. Right? So I'm just standing there watching this. And for the only thing I regret is I didn't have my phone on me. I should have ran to my truck and got my phone. Why I didn't, I don't know. That would have been a live YouTube right there. Right. So, I'm standing there, and it was probably only 30 seconds, but it seemed like 10 minutes. And a guy walks in, comes up behind me, and I go, hey, man, why don't you get some cookies? And I point over there, and he looks down, and he goes, what the fuck? He goes, holy shit. Well, he walks away to get what he was there for, and someone else comes walking in. Before I could say anything, the guy behind the counter goes, are you going to buy something, or are you going to stand there and make jokes all day? And well, I'm going to stand here and make jokes all day. Dude, I pay for my water. I'm walking out, and this Palm Beach County sheriff comes pulling in, and he sees I got a grin on my face, and I go, hey, man. I go, I don't know what they pay you, but whatever they do, it's not enough to deal with this. He goes, is it bad? I go, yeah, it's bad. And he starts laughing. He walks in there. He immediately turned around, and they brought I sat in my truck in the parking lot. They brought a female officer, and I guess cops have shit prepared for this, because they went in the trunk and they had a big blanket, like a moving blanket or something, and they wrapped her up and hauled her ass out of there and put her in the back seat.
By the sounds of it. A horse blanket by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Well, she was big. She was built for power, not speed.
Get that guy out of here.
So I couldn't believe that I saw that. I mean, that was fucking. And then someone told me.
Go ahead.
Someone told me she was on some kind of drug that makes you really hot, makes you want to take your clothes off, and that. You know, I go, well, I don't know anything about that, but I do know this: if there is a drug that would cause you to do that, why would you fucking take it? It must be fucking amazing.
People are fucking nuts, man. I mean, that's almost as crazy as having a peanut butter chili dog. Who fucking has a peanut butter chili dog?
I saw that. Is that
Tim
for real?
fucking Huber,
That ain't
man.
for real.
Fucking Bon
Ain't for
Jovi
real.
loving ass motherfucker. No,
Yeah,
no,
I mean-
no. He posted pictures of that shit.
Oh,
He's
I
like,
didn't- I
I'm
didn't
having
see
peanut
what the
butter
picture
chili.
was.
So he showed like the stage with the peanut butter on it. Then he put a hot dog in there, and then he poured
Yep.
this fucking spicy bean soup over top of it. Called it chili. It had more beans in it than meat. Listen, I got news for you. Chili ain't got beans in it, my dude.
No.
Chili
No.
technically is just meat. I'm just
Yep.
saying. I mean, if you want to look up
Yeah.
the definition, you know what I'm saying? It's not stew, motherfucker. It's chili. But
Yeah,
you know, whatever.
yeah.
But who in their right mind would fucking only a Bon Jovi lover like Tim Huber.
That's such a strange combination. You got to wonder, how did you come up with that? You know?
Yeah, that's weird. Well, I know in school here they used to serve peanut butter sandwiches with chili.
Yeah.
And the kids in
Yeah.
school would dip their peanut butter sandwiches in chili. I wouldn't eat the chili because it wasn't chili. It was bean
Yeah, that
soup
ain't
with
real.
meat in it. It tasted like tomato sauce.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
mother-in-law makes that kind of chili. She calls it chili. It's spaghetti sauce. I swear to God, it's spaghetti sauce with red beans in it. Jennifer's going to fucking
Yeah.
kill me for saying that.
Yeah. Make them come in and
Yeah.
cuff your ass.
Jennifer knows it too. If she is watching, she's laughing as well because we laugh about that all the time. All of us laugh about it. I was like, one Halloween, I was like, we should have a chili cook-off, and everybody like bring their own chili, and they were like, all right, cool. And I was like, yeah, Kathy, you could bring spaghetti sauce. Oh, I love Kathy. She's probably, dude. If she heard this, she would come over here and smack me in the fucking face. I'm playing with fucking fire, is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What's up, Jason Snyder? You hoe ass bitch. I tried to get you to be a guest on the show tonight. I'm busy working. I've got this huge construction cleaning to do, and then I've got to blow this guy. And
What's more important?
yeah, what's more important? Blowing dudes are coming on the podcast, Jason Snyder. Peanut butter on a hamburger is pretty good. You know, I'm open to new things. But listen, peanut butter, if you're going to do that, you don't need beans in your chili on a hot dog. That just doesn't even make sense. It just don't make sense. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Chili dogs don't, I mean, with beans on it, I just don't understand it. Come to my house, I'll show you what hot dog chili is all about. It will change your life.
Peanut butter pickle sandwiches are good. I don't know, man.
Only a dude that looks like Henry fucking Drees would have peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. Listen to this fucking guy. Hey, you want a peanut butter and pickle sandwich? No, jackass. Where's that Batman slapping Robin meme? Fucking smack the shit out of him with
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? We are all working and listening to you guys tonight. Oh, kick ass, man. What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are enjoying your construction clean. Jason is all balls. No dick.
He must be, man. He's a gangster if he's working at 9:30.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he said
Oh,
he's
no.
doing. They're doing construction clean on something. It's a hospital. So,
So
from what I
obviously
understand, it's a
on the
large
inside.
job. Yeah, from what I understand, it's a pretty large job. So they're trying to do double duties on it. So good.
See, I don't know about you, but I think, like there are companies that I know of, local to me, that do nothing but construction clean. I mean, that's all they do.
I don't think I can handle
They're
it.
not usually window cleaners, but they do everything. And I don't know about UT, but let me ask you something. It seems to me, over the last 3 to 4 years, every construction cleaning job I've ever done always looks like, okay, now I'll do it if I'm going to get the account. Like I bid a really nice restaurant, a very high-end restaurant down here, and the lady says, what's the construction cleaning going to cost me? Because I go, look, don't let your contractor take care of it, because you're going to end up with scratch grass and problems unless he uses a professional company such as myself. And I'm not soliciting the construction clean because I really don't want to do it. I said usually if we're going to do an ongoing cleaning contract, I'll charge you a month's worth of service for the construction clean. That sounds fair. And she goes, no, that's very fair. And I go, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I wanted this job. I need to put some route work back into the books. I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do the construction cleaning on me, and we'll start charging you the first month you're open. I said, because it's going to take 3-4 hours to do it, and to do it right. You're not going to have scratches. And I got the job because of that, because I sent her an email, which is not something I normally do, and I should, but I emailed her the price, and then like a week to 10 days, I didn't hear anything, and I sent her an email saying, hey, just want to know what you thought of the pricing, and have you made a decision?
Oh.
And she immediately responded, and she said, we're going to go with you guys. I'll be in touch. I appreciate everything you've done. So that's where it's at now. But my point was this. Don't you ever do a construction cleaning? And again, I like to get them if I'm going to get the ongoing. If not, I usually try to turn them away. And halfway through it, you're going, man, I don't want to be doing this shit.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
That just brings up that topic. You remember, I want to say last spring, I hit you up about that construction cleaning I did, and it had that mirrored blue glass, that Starfire glass, whatever the fuck it's called. Well, I did the construction clean on it. They turned down my weekly price. They hired another guy. He called me Tuesday. No, he called me. He sent me an email Saturday and wanted me to come out and have a look Tuesday and then get a hold of him. I went out and he had this other company from out of town. They drive these little cars around. They had them doing the glass, scratched the fuck out of these windows, bro.
I'm never going to get out of there.
Scratched the fuck out of these windows, man. Destroyed them. And I told the guy, I warned him. I said, he's like, he goes, your price is a little high. And I was like, well, I'm going to be honest with you. If there's a lot of debris on these windows, it's going to take me some time because I'm going to want to lay down towels in the sills, and I want to squirt everything down to get it moist, because there's drywall mud and shit stuck. And I wanted to take a spray bottle around, lay towels in the shit, and get wet it all down and let it soften before I took the stuff off the glass, because I was that nervous about fucking these windows up. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, you got to be really careful with this glass because it's gonna mar easily. And that's what you told me that I had to be. You told me be real careful with that stuff. It's expensive and easily destroyed. So I took my time. I got my money's worth out of the job. They turned me down for the regular cleanings. Hired this fucking yum out of town that scratches everything he touches, and they fucked up the glass. He's like, I sent him an email. I was like, yeah, they're scratched. He's like, well, what can you do about it? I was like, nothing. And you told me that there's a good chance that they might not be able to fix that kind of stuff, right? They're like the way the coating is on the glass. Or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know. That might be another one we stop and look at if
I'd be happy to look at it. I'd be happy to look at it like that. I mean,
that's the guy that tried to. He is on one of his properties. His wife owns a clothing store, and or his sister or something like that owns a clothing store, and one of the employees was in there. And I did this job since before they had concrete floors in the building. It was just there was just the shell of the building. And each unit didn't have a concrete floor in it yet. They just, the windows were in, everything was in except for the floors, because each company that was moving in would want with a bathroom here or whatever, what I mean? So they waited to do that.
Yep. They build them out. Yeah,
they build them out to their specs. And, we did all the construction clean on these buildings. So I had this job for like 6-7 years. And, this lady, I think she did it because she didn't want to pay me. They were like 3 months behind on their bill. And I didn't want to lose the account. I kept giving her chance after chance. And I was like, I'm done doing this. And I dropped off the last bill. She's like, this is almost $600. I was like, you owe me for 3 months. You haven't paid me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 20 windows inside and out. Transoms, the whole 9 yards next to a rock quarry. You know what I mean? This place is fucking nasty. You know what I mean? Every time I go there. And they get charged accordingly. So she's like, calls him up, and she's like, the guy that owns the building, she's like, calls him up and tells him that I stole a bucket of water. Like, I went there, filled up my bucket, and drove off with it. So, he sent me 2 days later, I got a letter in the mail. Registered letter in the mail, cease and desist. Ceased and assist. I'm not allowed to walk on any of his properties.
Yeah.
you're not allowed to clean that store anymore. You're not allowed on my property. And I had to call him. I was like, listen, I was like, you own a lot of property around town, and I service 99% of your customers. My customers. And he's like, really? He's like, I thought you just worked for us. I was like, no, I work for all these people.
Yeah.
And they started calling because I gave my customers a letter. I'm like, look, he doesn't want me on the property because I stole a gallon of water. And the one lady, the anchor tenant in the strip mall that said I was stealing water, she's like, listen, I gave him permission. We pay the water bill.
Yeah.
You don't pay the water bill.
At that point, they're just nitpicking.
Yeah. And he's like, well, he called me back up and he's like, I apologize and da-da-da-da-da. And he effectively took the cease and desist off, And I told him, I was like, listen, the only reason why they're saying that is because they owe me money. They owe me almost $600, man.
That's what happens, T. When you walk in there and you solicit them for $200, right? Mm-hmm. That's not a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It's part of the maintenance. It's part of running that business, But then, like you said, all of a sudden it's your fault they haven't paid you in 3 months. And 600 seems like a hell of a lot more than 2. Mm-hmm. Not thinking that,
and because I had the account so long, I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to be a prick about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I never had problems before, and as soon as the one lady sold out her share in the business, I stopped getting paid. You know what I mean? They just quit paying me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, maybe there's a transition and they don't know whatever, and she just effectively just did not want to pay me.
Yeah.
And then called and made up this fucking story. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude. Come on, bro.
Yeah. No, anytime you're working for someone or at the same property for a long period of time and that business sells, 50% of the time you cruise right under the radar. You make, a new relationship with that person. And the other 50%, you'll be like, this was a great job. They paid me every month on time, and I know I'm going to have a problem with it now. I used to work, you have Pier 1 imports up there, right? Mm-hmm. Pier 1. I used to do 4 Pier 1s, and then all of a sudden, Fish shows up, and everybody that I know goes, oh, did you lose your Pier 1? And I'm like, no. And he's like, Fish is taking them all. So I'm waiting with bated breath to lose my 4 Pier 1s. Mm-hmm. And then I found out that the reason I didn't lose mine, because I was the only one not collecting cash. I was emailing a bill to corporate, and they were paying, and they told me flat out, we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket. We want a second vendor. Even though we gave, 15 to this company, you still have your 4. You're safe. And I still clean those 4 to this day. But then upper management changed, and now it's like pulling teeth to get paid. Now I got to now my bill has to be sent to Texas. It's no longer just email corporate. They want a physical copy. And it's like, you owe me 3 months in one store, 2 months, another store, 4 months in this store.
Right.
And at what point do you just say, is this really worth the aggravation for fucking $300?
I tell you what, management change, ownership changes worked really well in my favor. I ran into the dude that used to do a bunch of did all of the restaurants, the McDonald's that I do. He used to do them, did them for years. And when I got called for the job, she said, well, we've got a guy now. He's been cleaning them since we took over. He used to do them before, but she's like, he just collects checks. He does not clean the windows. He says he's here every week, but he's not. He's coming once a month and getting paid for every week. You know what I mean? And she called me. She's like, what I did was I knew the guy that was doing all the landscaping on the property. He was to my cousin's shop. His rental company to rent a dingo, Toro dingo. It's got different attachments on it. You can do all kinds of shit with it. Rented that, and he was sitting there talking to Mike, and then Mike's like, he's like, oh yeah, I just took over all these McDonald's. They fired the last guy. They fired everybody. They just fired everybody. And all their outside contractors they fired. And I'm like, do they have a window cleaner? And he's like, I don't know, but here's her number. So I just happened to call her. She didn't answer, and then she called me back. She's like, I was just getting ready to call you because I left her a message. She's like, I was just getting ready to call you. She said, I found you on the internet. She goes, and I got this location. It's a construction clean. I need it cleaned up. I want it done tonight. I was like, she's like, if you can't do it, just tell me now. I'll find somebody else. I was like, I will be there. So I went, I did this place, no questions asked, and did it twice. Did it once. They pressure washed it. She called me. She's like, "Can you come back?" They pressure washed it outside and tore the windows up. And I'm really particular about my windows. I went back, did the whole place in and out. Never said another word to her. Then a week later, she calls me. She says, "I want you to do all 8 of our locations inside and out once a week." She goes, "Do you think you can handle that?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I could have taken all of their stuff out towards where Joshua Shoaf lives, but I didn't take those on just because of logistical reasons. But now I think if they're offered to me again, I'm going to take them, because I think I'm really done dealing with fucking residential customers. I've got some bread and butter customers that I've had for over 13, 14 years, and I'm going to continue to do, but I think I'm going to stop taking phone calls on residential unless they're money jobs, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like good shit,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Consistent.
Yeah, consistent money jobs.
Yeah. Marcus Bay said he's dealing with that at Applebee's. He fired himself and another window cleaner that he was friends with. Well, not now. Pushed up on them, and they did the same thing to him. Look, you guys got to realize, if there's dirty windows in a place that normally cleans like an Applebee's, there's a reason.
There's
for
a
that,
reason for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've always said I hate restaurants because they're wet jobs, or they're time stops, and unless they're higher end restaurants, I got some pretty nice. I don't have any more Applebee's or Ruby Tuesdays or Fridays anymore.
I've had an Applebee's for 15 years.
Well, you're lucky on that, but see, management changes in those places so frequently. Now you got a new manager to deal with, and the first thing he's going to do is put everybody under the microscope. Not that you're going to beat him up or not do it.
I did,
but everything is out for review.
I just met. On all the years that I've done that Applebee's, I've never met the big time guy. The owner dude. I met him recently. They got a new manager at the store I'm at. The old manager was like, "Listen, I've got a window cleaner. He's been with me for years. He's really good. He'll do whatever you say. You call him, he'll be here at a drop of a hat to do whatever you need him to do." So I met her, and the transition has been completely smooth. But there's other times where I've had jobs for a while. There's a couple that I lost where, position that hired me is no longer there. He's long, and then another guy comes in, and I'm not cleaning the windows there anymore.
Yeah.
It just all really depends. You know what I mean? But as soon as I met that guy and he introduced himself, I was like, "Oh, hi, what are you doing?"
You got a pretty big one.
Hey, listen,
That's a pretty one.
Hey, listen, man. I'm honestly, man. And I think I want to talk to you about that when you're up here. Not even when you come down my area, but when we're up there, like we're driving around, I want to kind of pick your brain on prices and stuff, because I'm really going to start hammering storefront. I'm going to really, really hammer it. I want to get around a $2,500 to $3,000 a month route work going.
The main thing with the route work is you got to get into.
I'm close.
You got to get your foot into it.
And what I mean by that is I'm not anything that I have now. I'm saying just storefront, just regular shop windows. You know what I'm saying? Like AAAs and fucking, Payless shoes and whatever, Jim's Auto Body. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, the mom and pop
shit,
ones, man.
Strip mall shit. You know what I mean? That's I need help in that area. I need some help to try to.
I love that.
To break that. Yeah, I know, and I know you're the man with that. I know, and I want see. My training was residential. You know what I mean? The commercial work was just stuff we got called because our name was in the phone book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The same way with the restaurants. The restaurant stuff is what I built because I'm like, I can do this year round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I kind of lost. We did a little bit of storefront work, but I really didn't focus on marketing to it. I marketed more towards residential because that's the way he built the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's short-sighted. It's really short-sighted. You need to have. You need to have. I believe that you need to have that route work, that steady money, that steady once a month.
Man.
You gotta have that money. That's what I want to build that to around $2,500, $3,000. If I get it around there, I'd be so happy, man. Oh, so
no, that's dude. I'm telling you, just gotta. Right now, they call you, look at a house, you say, "I need $500 to clean this house." They're like, "Yeah, kind of on the fence with that, Okay, go ahead, and you might do it twice a year.
Nest.
With the storefronts, you got to give them something, okay? Dude, you don't know how many times I've sold a job simply by saying this: You walk in, you solicit them. I don't high pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You go back the next week. Hey, I was in the neighborhood. I'm cleaning your neighbor. Want to know?
Mm-hmm.
And they're still on the fence. You tell them this. Look, I'll clean your storefront twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cost you $50 plus tax.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? I'm gonna clean your storefront right now, in and out, and I'm gonna clean it again on the outside the last week of the month. At that point, I come in and talk to you. If you don't think my service holds enough value for your business, and you don't see the difference, that you don't have to go out and do it, and it always looks nice. If that doesn't work, I'm not even going to charge you. You just shake my hand and keep my card, because someday we'll probably do business. 99% of the time, you'll go in there, they'll write you a check for the $50 plus tax, and you'll continue with them.
Right.
It's easy because you make them think it's their idea. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You make them believe that they got something from you.
Right.
Pick up a storefront. It's the third week of the month. You're going to do it twice a month. You say, you know what? I'm going to only clean it one time this month. I'm not even going to charge you, which means you're not getting a bill to the end of next month.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you gave them something. You understand what I'm saying? You give them something for their money, and they'll keep you around. And once you get them locked for a couple of years, you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Someone can come cut your price. You show up and do what you're supposed to do, and you leave. I mean, I had a French restaurant. There's another story I've told. French restaurant. I was getting $75 or so a month for it, twice a month, in and out. And it was, not a great price, but I had everything around it. I had everything. So it didn't pay not to do it. I was already there. The expense of getting there was already spent. And the guy comes into me, and he goes, hey, Mark, I got this guy here, and he came in here for $50 a month, and he's going to do it weekly. And I said, oh, let me see the card. And it was a franchise window cleaning company. I don't need to say the name. And I said to him, now this guy's a French restaurant making French pastries and all this oddball shit. So I looked at him and I go, let me give you a little advice here. This is a franchise window cleaning company. And he looks at me, he's like, well, what does that mean? I go, okay, you're the only one that's making these pastries. Yeah. So if you want a good sub, do you go to Subway, or do you go to the guy on the corner that might be a few bucks more, but you can't even finish the sandwich? You know what I'm saying? And he goes, yeah, I see your point. He goes, but business is slow. It's not. I said, okay, well, how about this? You're paying me $75 for twice a month. I said, how about we cut out the inside? I'll touch up your doors. We'll knock it down through the summer till you pick back up. And he goes, that guy's going to come every week. I go, you really think he's coming in and out every single week for $50? I go, he's making milk money. It's $10 an hour at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And I go, look, here's one more thing. I have a $2 million insurance policy with a $1 million umbrella. I said, maybe you should check his insurance, because guess what? One slip and fall in front of your place is going to cost you a lot more than $25 a month.
Right.
He goes, shut the fuck up and keep cleaning my windows.
Right. Right.
And I kept him. Until he eventually went out of business. He had to close up. But, it's the way that you talk to him and handle him. You almost got to make them think it's their idea. Give them a little something for their money. Say hello to them. Learn their name. Address them by their name. If they got a name badge on, down on it.
Well, you know what, dude? I do that. Am I the only person that, like, when I go to this grocery store and the kid, like Kroger's, I go to Kroger's, the dude at the end of the line, that's bagging my groceries, I say, thank you, Jim, or whatever his name is. I don't, and they always look at you like, what? I'm like, well, your name tag.
Like, I know you.
Yeah.
No, that's a sign of respect.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
People like to be addressed by their name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime someone calls me on the phone and leaves a message that I know I'm going to either do business with or talk to, whether I only speak to them one time, I put their name in my phone. That way, either when they call me or I call them back, I address them by their name, because people appreciate that respect.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not calling you woohoo, whatever the fuck your first name is. Change your fucking YouTube name, you nerd. But I'm gonna do the postcards. That's my first line of attack. Is I'm going to go to these places. I'm gonna do the direct mail to these storefronts. That's my first wave of attack. I'm gonna give them a price. I'm gonna mail it to them on a postcard, and then I'm gonna go back in March face to face, and I'm gonna probably whatever I learned from Mark while he's up here. That's what I'm gonna implement when I walk in the store. So, that's my plan. But it's not that I don't like doing residential window cleaning. I like it, but it's just people are I don't like anyone. I don't I don't fucking like.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't like
We all
people that get on my
way.
fucking nerves, man. It's just
Yeah.
unrealistic expectations. You give them a price, they look at you like you're a fucking idiot. They got 2 Mercedes G-Wagons sitting in the fucking garage, and they act like you're charging them too much money. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, your fucking house is gigantic with cut-ups every fucking where. What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? What do you want me to do it for $5, bro? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. I don't understand homeowners at times. I just don't get it. I don't get the clientele, because most clientele has money. If you're doing their house, they got money. Not because I would never hire somebody to come clean my windows. I just bust out the Windex. You know what I'm saying? But and I agree, there's no substitute for a face-to-face window cleaning. Jacob, I completely agree with you. How many storefronts do you do? How many do I do now? I've got about 30 storefronts. That's not including my restaurants. I do a lot of restaurants, but I've got about 30 storefronts, and I want to double or triple that number is what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
And Mark, you've been in my area. It should be relatively easy for me to pull that off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The style of building or where I'm at, that's a realistic goal, I feel like.
Yeah, you should be able to do that. I mean, the thing is, I grew up here and lived in 3 counties the last 30 years of my life and been cleaning windows in all 3. And the one thing, because I lived in a bubble for the longest time, as we discussed before, the guy that lives up by you that I'm coming to help out with the scratch job, he came to my area and spent a couple days with me, and he looked around and he goes, dude, you have no idea how good you have it. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, we don't have this many strip malls like you do. You got malls on every corner. You got a Walgreens or a CVS on every corner. You got a Publix on every other corner, our grocery store. You got strip mall after strip mall. I go, well, some of them, are 30% vacant. He goes, it doesn't matter. There's work. There's so much work here.
Right.
And that when I came up to see you, I was looking
I'll be
around.
competing with that guy, by the way.
That's not a problem, dude, because, again, it's not a franchise company, but let's be real. The owner's out there doing it. Who's going to do it better? Someone making $9 an hour or someone trying to feed his family?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, I just, like I said, because I grew up with it, the sales of it are easy. But, look, I fell into a trap, and I think I told you about this the last time around, is I've neglected my route for the last 2 years. Because when I lost Matthew, who is not watching tonight, Matthew was a brilliant salesman. Matthew.
Oh yeah, you told me he was really good at that.
I said, Matt, here's the deal, dude. You can be as persistent as you want in sales, but I don't want you cutting prices. I don't want you taking work from any other company. And he's like, oh, I'm not used to that. I said, working with me is going to be different. I don't want you giving me jobs that we got because it's cheap. I want you to give me jobs because they want the service.
Right.
I go, and I can't afford to pay you on jobs that pay $15 a month.
Right.
Okay. That's it. So, and that slowed him down a little bit. But when I lost Matthew, I lost a lot of sales on the route. And the route has to be fed, meaning you've got to constantly build it because you're going to lose it. The more you have, the more you're going to lose. They go out of business, the manager changes, all that shit we discussed. And I wasn't feeding it for the last 2 years, and all of a sudden I'm looking at, I've got a dedicated route guy. That's all he does is handle the routes, and I'm like, his fucking numbers are way, way, way down because by the time you take and put all the expenses to do the work, it's hard to pay people to do route work. Doing it for yourself, you could make a lot of money.
Right.
That I've got to get out and start pushing myself because I got to build that back up.
Right.
That's the bread and butter that comes guaranteed every single month. And once you have it, you don't have to spend nothing other than the money to do it.
Right.
You don't have to sell. It's right there. I mean, I tell the guy, when you're washing the store and you see a coming soon sign, take a picture of it, take a picture of the address, tell me what mall it's in, and send it to me. That'll take you 10 seconds so that I can go in if you don't want to go in. I'm going to get that job.
Right.
I'm going to wear him down.
Right, right. Yeah, I completely agree with you on that, Jacob. Winter is a really good time to get storefront work, especially up north, because guys just don't show up. They just stop showing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you guys see me, I'm a fucking polar bear. I'm out there in a sweatshirt cleaning windows, and it's like 12
Yeah.
degrees outside. My hands are all pink. I can't feel them.
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
so sure.
You got to be a man. Well,
Yeah.
you know how it goes. But don't forget, guys, we're coming to the end of the show here. But don't forget, guys, if you call Jersey or Jordy over at windowcleaner.com and you mention the Squeegee Life podcast, you'll get 10% off a zero pull of your choosing between now and the first day of spring, guys. So that's pretty slick. Thank you to windowcleaner.com for that. Don't forget to go to www.patreon.com/Squeegee Life. Donate to the podcast if you'd like. We appreciate that. There's kickbacks for that. Mark will be at IWCA until he'll be there tomorrow and Friday. So if you're out there, say hello to Mark. Yeah. Get to talk to Mark a little bit. Stop by
if I don't know you by face,
yeah,
tell me who you are. I'm not being rude. I'm just not good with names, but I'd like to meet anybody that wants to come out and shoot the shit. And listen, to anyone watching now or going to download this and watch it, I don't want to hear you complaining we don't talk about window cleaning. This whole entire podcast
was window cleaning this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it for you guys. And yeah, I think you'll be at the Simpol booth, right? Which will be highly represented there. He's going to go and help Philip out at the Simpol booth, so check that out. You guys know how I feel about them Simpol. What kind of tip on the trad pole, the red one? Oh, that is the Unger tip. That's the Unger red tip.
Unger tip. That's a badass tip. And they modify it with a piece of carbon fiber to slide way down into the pole, and it's rigid. It's nice.
Well, I'm a little rough on mine. I wore the rivet holes out on mine. I had to put a screw through it.
Did you?
Yeah, I wore that out. I mean, because you see how I do the 0 degree is just rough on the end of a pole. You know what I mean? I used to break those green tips off my pole all the time.
Yeah, those green ones. Those green ones.
Well, they got that lock on the inside, and it just going back and forth, back and forth like that. It wears them out and shears them off. That red tip went through. Probably 10,000 pains a month for a year, you know what I mean? And that's not no bullshit, you know what I mean? That's legit. And it stood up, and I'm still able to use it. I just run a sex bolt through there, and it works just fine, you know what I mean? I tighten it up occasionally, but you know, it is what it is.
I'll tell you what I did after.
And mine was a prototype.
The original tip that when Chris and Alex sent us the trad poles. They had a different tip on it. I don't remember what it was, but I wasn't really too happy with it, and I was digging through my supplies trying to find something that fit. And then when I think I saw you got that red one with the carbon fiber on it, they sent me one. I called them up the next day and ordered 4 more because I jammed that motherfucker in every pole I own. Every pole I own has that tip. Open the clamp, put it in, it's good to go.
Another thing I was, from what I understand, from what I guess is that you guys are going to be able to get the handy sleeve and all of your favorite retailers now. I guess they're really starting to roll those out and get those to suppliers now. Because
Richie told me they're being delivered this week.
Yeah,
so
Richie, you know how you guys know how particular Richie is. He wants to make sure that shit's bulletproof when you get it. So that's what took a little bit longer.
Let me I'll give you some information that I'm sure Richie wouldn't mind that I share. And this shows how Richie is with his equipment. They had a butt ton of them made, and then Richie inspected them and didn't like the quality and rejected every one of them. And that's why there's a backlog of them, because I guarantee you what you get is going to be what he wanted you to get, not what someone's version
of what he wanted.
He's learned his lesson.
He's learned his lesson with that, and he's trying to do it right this time. So if you guys just give the guy, be a little patient, all you guys that want one and all of you guys that are trying to sell them, just give him a little time, give him some patience, and you'll get the best product he could possibly give you. So, but we really appreciate you guys watching the show. Make sure you like this, because there's a lot of you guys watching. 24 people and only 14 likes is not really cool. Do you guys use ammonia with soap on residential and commercial windows? Yes. Ammonia all day, every day. I don't care what nobody says. I even the Ace Hardware version, and I put extra on window tint. I got it extra just because. People are always like, you can't use ammonia on tint. I must be an idiot because I do it.
Yeah, dude, I had my truck tint. I got a guy that I've given him a lot of work over the years, so he always hooks me up when I bring in a truck or send him somebody. You know, he's just a great window tinter. He's got that computer thing, you know, that cuts it out automatically to your truck, so there's no if, ands, or but. It fits right. Anyway, I think I had my truck in there. He did the windows, and he goes, I go, you're not going to give me that speech where I can't roll down the windows for 24 hours. He goes, we have to do that. I go, but I can roll my windows down, right? And he's like, absolutely. He goes, they always say that. He goes, there's no problem rolling your windows down. You can roll your windows down if you need to.
Right.
It ain't going nowhere. But an ammonia doesn't kill tint.
No.
You're not going to leave it on for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I use it. You're just getting it on, get the fingerprints off, and then getting it off. So, you know, you're not letting it dry, guys. Yeah. But we really appreciate you guys watching. I think we may or may not be back Wednesday. I don't know if Mark, are you going to be here Wednesday?
Yeah.
We'll be back Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday. Look forward to some cool ass shit from me and Mark coming soon. Thank you to our audio guy, Dustin Duffy. He's the man. He's the best.
Dustin's the man.
Dustin's
drop a couple farts.
Yeah,
Dustin.
yeah. Come on, Dustin. What are you sleeping tonight or what, bro?
There
we go. Thanks.
I mean, recorded ones.
Was that a special shit just for us? Well, we, as promised, we're gonna end this podcast with an old funny video. This one was Mark's choice. We're going to give you guys the kickstander. So if you guys want to stick around for a minute and 30 seconds and watch the kickstander video, be more than welcome to. But again, thanks you guys for watching. Thank you to windowcleaner.com. Thank you for the Maker Products, Black Diamond, Squeegee Rubber. All you guys, thank you so much. All our Patreon members, and we will see you soonly. Deuces.